14 people have been killed in Taiwan as fierce winds, pounding rain and high seas have battered Hong Kong, now heading towards southern China. A lake burst causing the deaths in Taiwan as a decades-old barrier dam burst. Scores of fallen trees flooding across the region as storm surges also devastated seafronts. Well, we're going to cross now live to Beijing, talk to our correspondent Camenzind Broomby, who joins us from there. Yan, the typhoon starting to impact southern China as well now?
This is the biggest typhoon we've seen, not just in China, not just in Asia, but across the world in 2025. And you can imagine the kind of impact that this has already had across the region and is going to have in China. And that's why people in the southern Chinese province of Guangdong have been hunkering down. Some 125 million people living in this province, all set to be impacted in some way by this typhoon that brings winds of up to 200 kilometers per hour, heavy rains whipping up the seas. And local authorities there, we've heard reported, have gotten some 1.9 million people almost in that region to evacuate and have been sending in supplies there to make sure that those people in Guangdong, in southern China, are hunkering down, are able to see this typhoon through. We're expecting to make landfall in the next couple of hours before evening.
Yeah, and it's been much, much worse so far across the rest of the region, hasn't it? Been pretty catastrophic.
That's true. Even though this typhoon didn't directly cross over Taiwan or Hong Kong, both of those areas have seen significant damage. You mentioned Taiwan there. Some 14 people have passed away after a lake flooded its banks, essentially. Water rushing down the streets. We've seen video of cars piled up on top of each other after that, and sludge and mud filling the streets and filling the inside of houses. Local media in Taiwan reporting that most of those 14 people that have died were older people, elderly people living on the first floor, but just weren't able to make it out in time. Some 125 or more people also still missing in Taiwan, and authorities there are ongoing in their search, will be searching for those people. Hopefully, we'll be finding them alive. Taiwan is a place that is used to typhoons. It's a place where we've been covering typhoons for the last year or more. And actually, normally this island is pretty useful and pretty able to deal with these kinds of issues. But we've been hearing from locals on the ground there saying that even though they were expecting a typhoon to come, they didn't think it was going to be like this. And they didn't think that the authorities in Taipei gave them enough of a warning ahead of time. So some questions also being asked in Taiwan about the way in which this was dealt with. And in Hong Kong, of course, we've seen flood warnings. We've seen areas flooded, streets flooded, parks next to the sea also full of water, and images coming out on social media of hotels where the water has surged through, damaging the inside of these hotels. The last time there was a typhoon of this size in Hong Kong, the government says there were billions of dollars worth of damage. We'll have to wait and see what the impact is of this mega typhoon this time.